I believe in possibility. By default, that makes the best part of my day the first few minutes. You have an aspiration of what the day will become. You have a vision of making that day come to life. You know, the end of the day is good. You can look back on what you have done or haven't done and you know, recharge and get yourself inspired for the next day. But to me, that's looking backwards. Whether you're taking a picture, you know, you're painting something, building something, designing something, or building a business, it's all art to me. I grew up in Seattle. I was an only child. I remember having this really strong desire to make a film. And I think at the time I was maybe 7 at the most. I got together the kids in my neighborhood. We wrote and shot a film in Super 8, screened the film for the neighborhood. We sent flyers around, charged admission, and ended up making, you know, whatever, like 20 bucks on our film that cost us 10 bucks to make. Maybe there's a way that we could just do this. The life of a creator, it starts out very scary. You know, as young people, what we largely want to do is just fit in, right? So in a way, I ran the other direction. I ran to sports. Ironically, there was a movement that emerged in my youth, and it was this skate culture. And what that helped me see as a young person is that you could be wildly athletic and talented as an athlete and be creative. You know, painting, spray painting, the graphics on decks, the concept of design, and even designing a lifestyle. That was one of the first sort of concepts of a lifestyle that I really was able to grok. Well, I had a very clear path to play professional soccer, and I was either going to be the pro athlete or did all the pre-med and took all the MCATs and could go to medical school. About a week before my college graduation, something really terrible had happened. My grandfather dropped dead of a heart attack, completely unforeseen, and I was given his cameras. It was sort of at that moment that I quit all of the things everybody else thought they wanted for me. Flew to Europe, and over the course of the next 6 months, just lived out of a backpack and essentially taught myself how to take pictures. And I was traveling at the time with my then girlfriend, now wife, Kate. And so I had a very, very sweet and beautiful subject. So I had all the necessary ingredients. We wanted to sort of continue to postpone this era of play and, you know, your whole life to work, so what could we do? We packed everything that we could into a car and drove to Colorado, just having way more time than money. I literally remember Kate coming home from waiting tables, and we would put the tips from that night into the rent jar, and I would take the other money, any of that was left, and go develop my film from the previous week. So I turned to a life as a criminal. I would break in to the community college darkroom, use the darkroom between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m., develop all my film, print prints, and tidy up as if no one had been there. And I did that several nights a week for a year. It's wild. It was a great way to save money, though. You didn't have any, right? And then here I was in this amazing, beautiful natural environment. The U.S. ski team trained there. We were tuning their skis during the day and then hanging out with them at night. And we would, you know, I started taking pictures. When the marketing people came through on a shoot, and it turned out that the photograph that I had of that skier on that next year's ski was better than the one that the professional photographer at the time, I don't know who it was hired to shoot. And so they gave me $500 in exchange for the ability to use this photograph in their marketing campaigns. I saw for the first time that this could be a thing. From there, it was a pretty quick transition, sort of piecing together the occasional photo sale to becoming an actual working photographer. I set out to try and, deconstruct what worked. Great person, great athlete, great spot, and aimed to recreate that over and over and over. Game time, baby. Most of the art that I've made in my life, or the creations that I've made, in every way, they are in service of people. Communities on the internet were starting to just hit full speed because social had come out and YouTube emerged. Video was a real thing online. I was realizing that the people who were paying attention to the work that I was doing, they wanted connection to community, and they wanted to learn. And even going so far as projects like Songs for Eating, Drinking, bringing artists from all kinds of different disciplines. Folks from Pearl Jam, and we had local hip hop artists. We'd have a dinner party, people come together and perform a song just for the group of maybe 40 people at the party. Putting those things together in this like a creative soup, not being sure what was going to happen, but recording it and later sharing it with others. Community and bringing people together has always been a really interesting social experiment for me. It's where I've learned the most. It's where I've been able to make the most connections, and I can't envision a life without that. It's not an accident that I started a company whose mission is lifelong learning for everyone, because that is a reflection of myself. I remember a list on this whiteboard of, it said shit that is sure to break on launch. So there was a little bit of fear, but the overwhelming anticipation of what was possible if we could put the world's top creators in front of a camera and share it with the global audience. Today I look at CreativeLive and like, wow, that's a community of 10 million people who are similar enough but different enough that we can all both be inspired and learn from. I just don't know how it gets any better than that. Once you uncover a few gems where the world tells you no and you find a way to make it a yes, I think that's a seductive idea. The concept of sitting still into one thing is foreign for me, because nothing is really still if you look close enough. I'm of the belief that things are either growing or they're dying, and I always want to be on the upswing.